All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your Smackdown review for June 23, 2023. This show fucking sucked. After the last 10 or after the first 10, 15 minutes, I could give a fuck about the rest of this show, man. At least LA Knight won. That was the only good thing. Everything else fucking sucked. Yeah, the women's match, Charlotte Flair. She won like in 2 minutes. Who gives a fuck? What was the other one? Oh yeah, the tag title unification match. Ronda and Shayna won. Could care less about that. Grayson Waller, this Grayson Waller shit needs to end. This show this talk show he does needs to fucking die. It's pretty deadly. It was fucking annoying tonight. No Roman Reigns on the show tonight, so show automatically is terrible without him. Just not a whole lot happened. Everything else fucking sucked. You had matches advertised. None of those matches happened. Yeah, it was supposed to be Baron Corbin versus Cameron Grimes. So that was a good thing, I guess. That match didn't happen. We probably would have ended like in a minute. The other one was Bailey was supposed to face Shotzi for a Money in the Bank spot. That didn't happen. That probably would have sucked too. In the triple threat, it was supposed to be Butch versus LA Knight versus Santos Escobar. That didn't happen. That could have been a good match, but they replaced it with another match for LA Knight. But yeah, this when this Bloodline shit's over, this company's fucked, man. How can how can Vince and Triple H sit in the back and like watch this shit and see this shit's they think it's entertaining. Probably Vince does, maybe. Maybe this was Vince's call. I don't fucking know, man. This show was just fucking terrible tonight, man. Fucking sucked. All right. We start off with the Usos. They make their way to the ring. The Jay was they do the bloodline is now in. They start doing that. As soon as he said bloodline, Jimmy smacked him on the shoulder. He's like, then he says, the Usos are now in your city. Start the promo off like that and on the bloodline anymore. Jay says, we about to find family, Oos. Family's not supposed to do that. Supposed to lift each other up, not tear each other down. Jimmy says, you made the right choice. Jay says, we still love you, Roman. Still love you, Oos. For 3 years, we were in the trenches with you. You disrespected me and my brother. Jimmy says, we were raised on respect. We fell in line. We became the most dominant faction in WWE that was ran with respect. Once you started to show that we ain't worth nothing, your ass left on the island of relevancy all alone. And then Jay says, you blood, we can always forgive you. The ones we can't forgive are the ones on the outside of the house, sounding like rats. If you follow the rats, it will lead to snakes. And it led to the biggest snake of them all, that dude, Paul Heyman. Jimmy says, for 40 years, you want to claim you have the utmost respect for our family. You met us when we were 4 years old and said how much you love us and respected us. How could you take orders to somebody that would drive a wedge between two brothers that was built on love and respect for each other? Jay says, you're looking at the best tag team in the world. And Money in the Bank, Roman Solo is locked down. Welcome to the Uso Penitentiary. That's what they used to do before they joined the Bloodline. Usos are always good on the mic, because especially when they're together in the same segment. So yeah, after this show went fucking downhill. All right, we got Rey Mysterio versus LA Knight. LA Knight hit Rey with a shoulder tackle. He was on the apron and he dove over it for a 2 count. Rey hit LA Knight with a 619. Then LA Knight hit Rey with a neck breaker. Rey hit a springboard cross body for a near fall, and then Rey hit a DDT on LA Knight for a 2 count. And then LA Knight hit the BFT, blunt force trauma, for the 3 count and the win. After the match, LA Knight tries to rip off Rey's mask. Santos Escobar comes out to make the save, and then that was pretty much it for that. So maybe it looks like they're getting a feud going with LA Knight and Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio, LWO guys. So hopefully this turns into a good feud. The only thing is there's no fucking story. Was it because he pushed Rey? Was it because the feuding because LA Knight pushed Rey Mysterio last week? I guess that's like a minor reason to feud, but not like a major reason. So I guess that's something at least. So we'll see where it goes from next week. In the back, You see Solo, Sikoa, and Paul Heyman walking in the towards. They think they're coming to the ring or just walking around randomly backstage. And Ridge Holland, he says, "What are you looking at?" And Solo beats the shit out of him. He just hits the Samoan spike on him. And then after the commercial, Adam Pearce and Sheamus are checking on Ridge Holland. Adam Pearce like, I gotta go talk to Paul Heyman. Sheamus says, "Oh, that's not good enough" or whatever. So Sheamus goes out to the rampway, the entranceway, and he just challenges Solo to a match. All right, next up we got Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Alba Fire and Isla Dawn for the tag title unification match. Ronda and Shayna got the Smackdown tag titles, and fucking the other team got the NXT women's titles. And Raquel Rodriguez is ringside. Ronda applied the ankle lock. Alba Fire countered with the Enziguri. Isla Dawn hit Shayna with a back suplex, and then Shayna applied the sleeper to Isla Dawn, and then Alba Fire broke it up, and then Shayna and Ronda towards the end of the match. Shayna applied the sleeper, and Ronda applied the armbar, and then in the photo there, both women tap out. So Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler are the unified tag champs. So the women's division tag division's only got one set of women's titles now. So I guess it's a good thing to get rid of them, but the division just sucks, and I just don't really care. No fucking storylines, just random matches. That was it for that. And then after the match, Ronda's like, "Oh, what are you doing out here, Raquel?" And then Raquel's like, "Oh, we want the tag titles back." And then Liv Morgan comes out, so Liv Morgan's back, and they're gonna challenge Ronda and Shayna. I think it's next week on SmackDown, or is it on Money in the Bank? I can't remember. Don't really care about this. All right, let's get this fucking mess. Grayson Waller comes out, does a fucking talk show. Pretty Deadly is his guest or whatever. It's fucking annoying. They just fucking Grayson Waller told them last week in their gauntlet match it was inspirational or whatever. They beat 5 other tag teams. They were the last tag team in, and they fucking beat Sheamus guys who were in the whole match. How the fuck did they beat all the teams? Fucking stupid, man. How the fuck is that inspirational? They beat one team and we're in a match for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes or whatever. At the end. And then they started listing up all the teams they beat. Like, oh, they beat them. They were just fucking annoying. And then okay, on Street Profits come out. They challenge Pretty Deadly to a match. And then Dawkins gets a tag. He cleans house. Dawkins hit a double underhook. And then end of the match, Pretty Deadly does a roll up. The guy's got a foot on the rope. His foot on the ropes. And then the other guy had that fucking that blue thing or whatever, that blue shit they with the shirt, half shirt they wear, and he had it on the other guy's legs or whatever towards the end of the match to win. I just don't really care. But fucking for Street Profits, let me talk about these guys. They got a good storyline going. If one of them turns heel, looks like Montez Ford should be the star. And then you could get a feud going like, oh, he's been holding me back for years. I've been a tag wrestler this whole time when I could have been heavyweight champion or whatever. Been tagged for years, and they could just start a feud like that. Just fucking just do something, man. Entertaining. Got to get something going before this bloodline shit's over, man. And just be the bloodline stuff good and everything else fucking sucks and nobody cares about. All right, next up we got Charlotte Flair. She beats the military girl Lacey Evans. Fucking want to be Sergeant Slaughter, and match was like 2 minutes. Fuck cares. After the match, Asuka attacked Charlotte Flair. Don't really care. Next up, we got main event: Sheamus versus Solo. He was accompanying the ring with Paul Heyman. Sheamus hit a clothesline. Sheamus hit an Irish Curse backbreaker. Sheamus did 10 beats of the Baldwin. Solo hit Sheamus with a super kick. Sheamus hit the white noise for a 2 count. Solo hit the Samoan spike, and he sent Sheamus outside the ring. Solo hit the Uranagi on the announce table on the outside. And then, okay, so towards the end of the match, I think they got a picture of this. Let me just get to it. Fuck is it? Okay, fuck. Okay, right there. Okay. Oh, so he put Sheamus against the barricade, right? And he went from one side of the opposite side of the outside the ring, and he went towards it. This angle they shot. Hold on. Okay, this angle they shot, or the picture this took. This was not the TV screen or whatever, the TV cameras that they showed on TV. It was from the side, and from the side he fucking botched it, so he didn't hit Sheamus at all, and he hurt himself more than he did to Sheamus. So he took the whole fucking whatever the attack was, or when he bashed into Sheamus. It would look like he hit it. He was supposed to hit his head. They should have used a different camera angle. This is fucking terrible work. Motherfucking whoever's controlling this shit backstage or whatever in the truck. So yeah, so Solo botches this. Sheamus, he hits Sheamus, and then Sheamus is like knocked out or whatever, and the ref calls it off. So Sheamus loses, Solo wins, and then the EMTs comes out. Solo starts beating the shit out of the EMTs, and then Usos come out, and then they pretty much just hit a super kick on Solo a bunch of times, and then he tried to get up again, and Usos super kicked him again, and then they went to the top rope on one side, and then the opposite side, the other Jimmy went, and then they did like a split Uso splash off of it and hit Solo. So yeah, that was pretty much it for SmackDown. It was just fucking terrible. It fucking sucked. We got the Bloodline Civil War going on. So yeah, that was pretty much it for SmackDown. Do some quickly Money in the Bank predictions. All right, first up we got only 5 matches right now, but how many? About 1 or 2 more matches will add next week. No point in doing the predictions next week. These are pretty much the most of the matches, the important matches or whatever. All right, first up we got Ricochet versus Nakamura versus LA Knight versus Santos Escobar, Butch versus Damian Priest and versus Logan Paul. What the fuck's Logan Paul in this shit, man? There's no way. There's no fucking way Logan Paul should win this, man. You imagine this guy wins a match. He's on his fucking podcast. Yo, Seth, I'm gonna cash in Money in the Bank. I'm like a fucking idiot, and he's not even there, man. You have to go. Money in the Bank winner should be somebody that's there every week, man. LA Knight's been the favorite, and then prior to Logan Paul being out of the match, now he's not the favorite. And Damian Priest, looks like he's getting a push, and he's gonna be on his way out the Judgment Day. Fuck it, I'm gonna go with LA Knight. He got to, man. He's over, man. He's gotta fucking win. All right, next up we got the women's Money in the Bank ladder match: Lena Vega versus Becky Lynch, Zoe Stark, Bayley, Io Sky, and Trish Stratus. With all these choice, Io Sky is probably gonna win this because her and Bayley gonna break up, and then yeah, because Becky, Zoe Stark, and Trish, they're pretty much Becky's feuding with the both of them, so I don't see they're gonna cancel each other out. Selena Vega is not really doing much on SmackDown. It's random matches, and then the same thing with Bayley. So yeah, I think Io Sky should win. She's gonna get a push, and then probably cash in on Asuka. Will they feud after Money in the Bank? Who the fuck knows? All right, next up, Cody Rhodes versus Dom. This might be a tough one to predict, but I'm gonna go with Dominic Mysterio. Only reason is I think Brock Lesnar's gonna interfere. He's gonna show up in London, just beat the shit out of Cody Rhodes. Remember, he's been calling him a coward and shit every week. Oh, you're not a man, you're a coward. And or what did he say after he lost that? What paper was it? Night of Champions that Cody beat him, I think. Oh no, he beat him at Backlash. Brock won at Night of Champions, so it's 1-1. And he's like the night after Night of Champions, he's like, Brock Lesnar, are you satisfied with it being 1-1 and shit, and call him a coward? So yeah. Can't keep calling Brock a coward every week and expect to fucking just chill out. He's gonna whoop your ass, Cody. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Dominic Mysterio to win that. Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. Don't really care about this match. Balor's been attacking him like every fucking chance he's getting now this week. Seth Rollins is gonna win. He just won the fucking title. Why would he lose? Makes no sense. So Finn Balor's gonna lose over Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins should retain, and then the main event, the Bloodline Civil War. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa versus the Usos. This is a tough one. This is probably the toughest one to predict on the card. Just wondering if KO and Sami Zayn could interfere and help the Usos out. It looks like they're not even in the feud anymore. Yeah, I'll probably go with Roman and Solo. But if the Usos win, Solo's probably gonna be the one to take the pin. Yeah, but I'm gonna go with Roman and Solo to win the Bloodline Civil War, and then it'll probably continue after Money in the Bank, maybe. Fatal four-way for the title between all four guys, or Roman will face Jay or Jimmy one-on-one at SummerSlam. We could do that. So yeah. My predictions for Money in the Bank. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. What are your predictions? Who do you guys think is gonna win? You agree with my picks? You disagree? Post in the comments, like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. See ya.